Alright guys, back with a video. I know I posted one a couple days ago about maybe doing a little more in-depth video of creating the charge pipe with the blow-off valve incorporated. If you go back into the custom intake, or not custom intake, but custom charge pipe with blow-off valve video, all the parts that I purchased the links are actually in the description of the video. But I figured I'd do a video quick since I actually have the stock charge pipe off. I did put it back on because it had to go into the dealer for a check engine light. Nothing regarding the charge pipe at all. It's actually a bad sensor that's going out on the 2019 Jetta. It's the N80 sensor. It's the high pressure sensor. But to cover myself and the warranty, I threw the factory charge pipe back on and took it back in. And so all that being said, some of the things you're gonna want is I actually just went and picked up a bunch of piping. So I just have a bunch of random style piping. The one I did find that worked the best was like a 90-degree, maybe you might be able to get away with like a 45-degree, but in all actuality I would probably shoot for a 45-degree pipe, because your actual boot, you can actually get that in almost a 90-degree. I think this is a 45. It's 2.5 to a 2-inch. T-clamps are going to be the key for this. Your normal worm clamps like this are not going to be beneficial to you at all with doing this. I did find that out. If you're going clamps on a 2.5-inch pipe, vibrant, that's you're going to want to get the 2793s. That's all I've used clamp wise for pretty much everything now. Word to the wise, when you do get them, take a little bit of oil and put it on the actual thread for the bolt, because after a while, like let me see if I can show you on this one. They actually have like a locking, or like a plastic or silicone inside here that actually makes it a little harder. So once you tighten it down, if you're trying to loosen it, sometimes the bolt will actually get hot and just snap. That's unfortunately why I have the new packet too. So I'll just actually put some oil right here, like a WD-40, right here, and just let it get down into the threads, and haven't had any issues with that. Let's see what else I'm trying to think. You'll also need a 2-inch cup link. So you'll be 2-inch length and 2.5-inch diameter. And then your next pipe is going to be the one where your map sensor or your charge sensor for your boost pressure goes into. I did drill a hole, found that putting the rubber grommet around that, and then with it turned like this, the sensor goes in here, and then you can just through bolt it. And that actually seemed to work really well, but I wasn't getting an accurate boost reading with the initial setup that I went with, where it had the adapter on the map sensor, where it's actually pulling a vacuum, and it just wasn't giving me an accurate boost reading. So now I did one on the actual charge pipe, and let me go back here to the factory charge pipe, and it's actually right here, and then they give you through bolts for it. That's also in one of my other videos. The link for that's there. And then your tube just goes on there. This has been very accurate for boost pressure, so that'll all, both these two will come off and they'll actually go right here. Now, with all that being said, I did order another one, but the company I ordered it from screwed up, so they sent me one, and this is the one that I just finished. This side is where, let's see if I can grab it without dropping this, is where the adapter for the tube to slide over will thread onto, just like that. But then if you look inside there, there's a little blemish. That's because it had another hole, which wasn't going to do me any justice. It was just going to create a vacuum leak. So I had to use aluminum weld rods and weld that on the inside, and then do it on the outside, and use an aluminum grind wheel to get that smooth. So basically that part, sorry, I'm trying to do everything one-handed here. I actually have two of them, unfortunately, now. So the part that I just did actually looked like this when it came to me, and there's that additional hole that isn't threaded and I don't need. So basically just aluminum welded that out of the equation. So in the process, this is going to be the new boost sensor. I'm thinking I might actually use this one on this piping. Everything else still matches up. The holes still match up where they should be with the factory one. The only difference was the inside inlet was a little smaller for the sensor to actually fit inside, so I had to use a hole bit saw and actually like ream that out a little more. So pretty much that's just gonna go like this, and then I'll put the factory sensor on, through bolt it, and then this section of pipe will marry into this section of pipe, and then I'll have my sensor and my boost adapter. And then I already have this part on, which is basically a 2-inch to 2.5-inch cup link, and then it's going to come up into into the actual piping with the blow-off valve incorporated into it. That is also in the link for the custom charge pipe video in my videos. Everything I'm actually showing you is in that link, so if you literally just go in there and click on everything, you'll have all the parts that I'm showing you, with the exception of the T-clamps. And then I got a 90-degree cup link, where that'll come up and marry into the other part that I just showed you, and then it'll go up and over and into the top side, or the back side of the turbo. Another thing that a lot of people are asking me are, there's a plastic tube that comes off the factory charge pipe. This tube right here. I've called the dealer. I've had them look it up just by the part number, and was wondering if it was like an oil return line, but it's not. Everything that the dealer can find on it, and all the research I've done on it, is another secondary air line, like the one in the back of the intake. That black tube there is a secondary air supply. So since it's a secondary air supply, you can actually take a breather and put where the original housing was for it. And it's not going to affect anything. It's still getting filtered air. But then you don't have to try and create some sort of tubing to pretty much get to there without kinking it or anything like that. So I'm going to stop the video, put all this stuff together, and I'll pick it up once we're all done and leave you know if I run into any other things that I might feel is beneficial if you're doing this. So we're back. I got the charge pipe all back together. It's not bad. I have it running because it hasn't been started in like a couple days. So with doing that setup, I had to shorten the vacuum line for the blow-off valve and the boost, the line for the boost. While it's warming up, before I do the sound test, a couple things I've done to it since the last video. I eliminated the back wing. When I did get the wing, it was adhesive, so it stuck with 3M. But overall, it was a nice wing. It looked nice on the car. The downsides were, when I got it, a lot of the paint was chipped and cracked and like flaking off. So I ran it for a little bit, but I've been looking around and I found some other wings for the rear window I'm gonna go with. As far as anything else I've done recently, there hasn't been a whole lot. I honestly can't even think of anything besides this current video that I've just uploaded, where I'm actually going to be uploading, I should say, with redoing the charge pipe. I did the exhaust, eliminated the silencer, the resonator, so it's basically straight pipe from the down pipe back to the muffler. And then at the muffler, I went and bought an 18-inch pipe and went in the muffler and then pulled it back out. And the muffler, I think, was like 22 inches in length, so I ended up pushing the 18-inch pipe into the original piping, so I didn't have to cut the original pipe off, put the 18-inch pipe that I bought from Advanced Auto inside the muffler. I just put it in from the outside and then just did 2 quick spot welds to give it a full straight pipe from the down pipe back, essentially. But in Pennsylvania, you still have to have the muffler and a catalytic converter for the emissions end of it. So technically it's straight piped, but technically when it comes to emissions and everything else, I currently have a muffler that is functioning. It does have a crackle to it. It's cold, so it definitely sounds a lot better this way. Let me see where the temperature's at right now. So with running the boost gauge, or the that adapter to the charge pipe, even if you run it to a stock one, as soon as you start your car, you're going to be at 0. Where initially when I was running it to the map sensor, like the video I watched before, I was starting down in like the 20s, which was, after like a day or two, I noticed that I was running in like the 20s when I started it. And then that got me thinking that maybe I'm pulling a vacuum and I wasn't actually pulling any boost until I hit 0, and then, you know, maybe that would have been correct. So I decided to go right to the charge pipe, and now I think I get more of an accurate boost measurement. Now going off of that, I will be replacing this boost gauge with a, I don't think the one I ordered, it might be digital. I could be wrong too. Either way, I'm going to be replacing this one with another style, as well as I'm going to be doing an air fuel ratio gauge as well. I haven't quite figured out where exactly I'm going to put that in here yet. I thought about going up on the A pillar, and I definitely know I'm not going to drill any holes into the pillar. That I do know for sure. So if I don't do it on the A pillar, I might do it like right in this area, or maybe I'll do it, like figure out a way to do it like down here. I'm kind of content with where the boost gauge is. The only thing behind it are like my warnings, or like the temperature, like if it gets below freezing, or like where my fuel rate is, but I can see all that from the main dash. As far as that information, so I mean, I can still get everything I need from the main dash, even my gas mileage left, and if I get a check engine light or whatever, if it's a hard check engine light, it'll throw it in the vehicle status. But like I said in a previous video, what it went to the dealer for, it's a pretty soft check engine light, and by soft I mean it's not something drastic where your vehicle should not be driven. With that N80 sensor, it doesn't affect the way the vehicle drives or performs. It's because that was my main concern when I talked to the Volkswagen manager in the service department, was if it's going to eventually harm the vehicle, then I'll just leave the vehicle at the dealer till the part comes in or whatever, and figure out a way to work or whatever, and we'll go from there. But my understanding is it's basically just a pressure sensor. But it looks like the car's warmed up now, so as far as the exhaust, like I was saying, I mean, it definitely sounds a lot better, I think. And let's see, the blow off. And more for the rear, so then you can hear the crackle. So, I mean, it definitely sounds a lot better overall. I definitely am very content with these shocks that I did. Like I said in the my other video, I will upload the link for those if you decide you want to go that route. It definitely is a lot better than the factory hood rod. So, like I always say, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Work's getting a little crazy, so like I said in the past couple of videos, I'll get back to you. It might be 2 days maybe, but I will get back to you. If I don't know the answer, I'll still get back to you and leave you know I don't know. But I will do the research and get you an answer. So, like always, feel free to subscribe, and said in a, I don't know how many videos ago again, if we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to be uploading a install video of the front mount intercooler that I'm going to be doing on the Jetta as well. Initially I said if I got 1,000 I would do it, but the more I thought about it, I'm just going to do it regardless whether I get 1,000 or I don't. But if I get 1,000 subscribers, then I'll definitely upload it. Honestly, I probably will end up just uploading it anyway to help you guys out if that's something you're thinking about doing, and maybe like the upsides to it. So thanks for watching, and feel free to hit the subscribe button. Thanks.